Good afternoon, welcome to another adventure. So this one, there may not be as much photography on this one, which might appeal to some of you, and there might not be much footage, to be honest with you. This one is an overnighter, quite local, and to be honest with you, I'm just doing it to get out. So with it being winter, not much daylight, so the sun's starting to go down now. So I've timed it so I'll get to the pitch that I found yesterday just as it's dark, or just about to get dark, so I can pitch late without drawing attention to myself, and hopefully not be seen by anybody, because I'm not as high up as I'd like to be, because I've stayed local. I'm going to be on the moors. In theory, I wouldn't expect any sane person to go out dog walking after dark, or walking in general, because it's boggy and horrible up there, and the forecast isn't great. Well, no, the forecast isn't bad, but it's bloody cold. It's already tried to rain a little bit, even though that's not forecast. It's gonna snow a bit overnight apparently, and drop to, including wind chill, -5. So quite safely say that's the coldest I'll have tested my gear to. But that's why we buy it, isn't it? Winter stuff is there to be tested in winter. You can't test something that's designed to go to -16 in summer. So let's see how we get on. I'll just give you a little bit of a view of what I can see at the moment. I've only just got on Thermarest. I'll tell you what, without being out walking for a while, I've lost a bit of my fitness, especially with the gym being shut, so I'm not able to keep my cardio going either. So it's yes, it's definitely a tough one, because it's quite hilly and quite uneven, but it's all good fun. So if I don't bring you back before, I shall see you at the mystery pitch site. See if anybody recognises it in the dark. So I thought I'd just pose a question to you, see if we can get people talking on the thread. So whenever I go camping, I always forget something. Sometimes it's something major, and sometimes it's something minor. Now, the worst thing I've ever forgotten, not my tent pegs, nothing like that. I suppose depending on what your situation is, it might not be considered the worst. However, worst thing I ever forgot was my power banks, like my extra power for my phones and stuff, which normally it's not a big deal, because the phones last a fair while, especially if you turn them off overnight. It's not a major issue, and my torch had enough charge. But the one time I did forget it was I don't know if you've seen my previous video, it's called Highland Adventure Part 4, when I was kayaking. So I kayaked to a shore quite a long way away from anywhere, and when I got there I started unpacking, realised I'd forgotten, not only did it have my battery packs in, but it also had all my cutlery in. So when I had my meal, I had to kind of improvise and use my fingers. Wasn't too bad. Fortunately it wasn't soup, it was macaroni cheese. So the plan is to go to the pitch I found yesterday, which is just, can't really see it, just on the top there. There's a little cairn. Having said that, I set off a bit later than expected, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get there before dark, because that's a good 1.5 miles away, and it's about 3:45, and it's supposed to get dark at 4. So we'll see. Okay, so it's getting very dark now, but I'm just about where I need to pitch, so I'm going to pitch here. It is right next to one of those places where you sit out the wind and have your brew, but no one's going to be up here now because it's virtually dark and I'll be gone first light. So I'm just going to perch here, have a nice view out across the valley. Okay, so tent's up, albeit thrown up because it was pretty dark by the time I came to putting it out, and it's pretty windy as well, so it was quite difficult doing it in the dark and the wind. Obviously a bit tangled up, but it's up now and it's not going anywhere. I've not been able to guy it out as normally like, because of the kind of enclosed space I'm in and also how rocky the ground is, but fairly flat. And just as I was finishing putting it up, it started to rain, so I'll just open the flap here and see if we can see outside. To my view of the evening. You probably can't see a right lot because again it's not very good in low light, but I doubt anybody will be able to guess where I am if you don't already know. So what I'll do is I'll wait till the morning before I take some decent footage, and then those that know the area might be able to guess a bit better. So I'm just close that flap. I'm just going to get some food on, I think, really, because something to do. It's only about 5 o'clock or something. That's trouble with winter camps. It's like you've got to pitch early because you pitch, you know, before it gets dark, and then what do you do until bedtime? So I've got a brew on. Don't know if you can see the steam coming off that on my breath. It's a little bit chilly. It's down to 2 degrees now the sun's gone in. Stopped raining. But I'll put a picture up of the view. It doesn't come out on this camera because the low light levels is pretty poor, but I've taken a picture of my iPhone and it looks pretty good actually. It looks really nice. So yeah, got a brew on, just waiting for my macaroni cheese to rehydrate. One of my favourites, macaroni cheese from Summit to Eat, highly recommended. To be honest, all the meals are really nice, but this is my favourite. And for laters, because it is only early and I've got to do something to pass the time, custard and apple crunch, which I've had before as well, really, really nice. You just got to get the water levels right on it, otherwise it's a bit sloppy, but it's really nice. So that's a little treat. So this evening is basically going to be eating, watching films, eating a bit more, having some hot chocolate. You see, us wild campers, we live off these hot chocolate sachets. What else we got? Yeah, Nescafe 3-in-1. I know there's people that use a thing called an AeroPress, which again, you know, it's just, I'm sure it's very good. I've never tried one, but it's just extra weight, isn't it? And I carry far too much as it is. So I'm tempted to try coffee bags next. They're supposed to be very nice, but then you have to carry milk. But the coffee purists say you don't have milk in proper coffee, but I do. I can drink it black, but I just prefer a bit of milk in it. And if you have to carry milk, again, it's extra weight, or you put powdered milk. And if you put powdered milk in real coffee, you might as well just have a 3-in-1 sachet. It's wild camping, it's not luxury. As long as I got my main luxuries are my sleeping bag, my sleeping mat and my tent. Everything else is just an added bonus. If I had a Sherpa to carry it all for me, then, you know, I'd probably carry a lot more. But my bag weighed in today, bearing in mind my winter kits, I'm carrying a bit extra, weighed in at 12.5 kilos, I think, and that was with nearly 2.5 litres of water, in fairness, because I know there's no water sources around here. Well, reservoir, but I'm not trekking all the way down to the reservoir in the dark, and you don't pass it on the route. So, so 12.5 kilos, is that a lot? I don't know. I'm not a lightweight warrior. Some people try and get the kit as light as possible. I've cut corners in a few places where I can get a bit less weight, but it's winter, so I've had extra fleece, got this body warmer, extra jackets and tops and stuff. I've got my winter bag, which is not far off 2 kilos on its own. So I think, you know, for winter, you can't really go wrong. And I'm using my new rucksack, and I managed to get it on my new rucksack, which is a 65 litre. And I could have fit more in if I needed, so okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a tour of my huge tent. It's a one-man tent. Those who know me will know I always go out in the Hilleberg Soulo since I got it. I have got Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2, but I prefer, well, it's more room, and I'm going to keep it because
if I ever persuade my other half to come camping, then that's plenty of room for 2 of us. But in the meantime, one man camping, strictly solo man, literally. I love this tent. Condensation issues now and again, but nothing that would put me off having the tent. And it is small, but then there's plenty of room. You just have to learn to live with it. It's like if you move from a 4-bedroom house into a 1-bedroom apartment, you learn to live with it, don't you? You learn how to store your kit differently, and what you don't need and what you do need. And if you've got more room, you fill it. So anyway, I digress. So there's my latest rucksack. I hope you can see it in this last night. There you go. That's the Osprey Atmos AG65. Just got that the other day. This is the first time I've had it out, and fits all my stuff in perfectly. Yeah, again, you just got to learn how to put it in a certain order and make sure that it all fits in. Onto my bedding. This is the Rab Ascent 900. I'm not doing a review of these kit, I'm just familiarising people with the kit I use. Rab Ascent 900, supposed to go down to a comfort rating of -16, I think. Not that I'm ever likely to get that cold in England, well, possibly in the Scottish Highlands, but this is absolutely amazing. It's a mummy bag, but it's quite wide at the bottom, so I'm a side sleeper, so I like to stick my knee out, not out the bag, but you know, sort of, those who are side sleepers will get what I'm talking about. You lay on the side with your knee sticking up, and there's plenty of room to do that in this. It's a lot wider than your average mummy bag, because I don't like mummy bags as a rule. Loads of room. Under that is the Thermarest, a bit mucky there, sorry. Thermarest NeoAir Xtherm, which is the, I think it's the, if not the highest, it's one of the highest rated mats you can get. Packs down to something not much bigger than a beer can. Really, really comfy. And this is the first time, because it's winter, I've actually come out with this as well. You can just see it underneath. There is, see there, like a silver mat underneath. I got that from eBay. It's like a silver, it was down as a silver picnic blanket, and it's about 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters, so it's doubled up. Just predicts, I mean, I don't know how much insulation it gives as far as sleeping concerned, but when you sat about in your tent and just sat on the floor, you can definitely feel the difference from just sitting straight on your ground sheet. What else have we got? I haven't inflated it yet, but I've got the pillow, which is a Cedar Summit 10.99 job. They're alright. None of these inflatable pillows, I've tried a few, none of them are as good as just having a pillow, but obviously, you know, you can't carry a pillow around when you're while camping because they're massive. Other than that, what else have we got? This is my camping light. I need a better one, because this is, it's great, is this in fairness, but it's just a little bit heavy. But it's a torch, it's an emergency light, it's also normal light, like a lamp, and then Uber light as a lamp, and that's just a bit too much in your face like that, so I tend to have it torch up to the ceiling, and it's just a nice atmospheric. My gas stove is, you can see it there, you see it's a pocket rocket, MSR pocket rocket, and it's brilliant. People say these little stoves are no good for doing anything else other than boiling water. Well, I've had a pan on that and I've cooked bacon on it. You've got a limited amount of adjustments. You know, it's not like a proper stove at home. You can go from super flames to just a minimal simmer. But if you're careful, you can get it down to a reasonable simmer so you don't burn stuff. But I've cooked on it and it's all right. But again, I'm not a massive cook when I come on camping because it's just a ball ache. That's why I use all those Cedar Summit meals, because they're convenient, they're light as a feather, and you don't need any washing up afterwards, so it's all good. So that's about it for now. I don't know if I'll come back to you before I go to bed. It is quite early. I think it's about 6 o'clock now. But that's my little setup. It's currently 0 degrees and about 6 o'clock, so I predict it's going to get colder and colder. We did say it might have a bit of a flurry of snow overnight, so we'll see. But if I don't see you before, I'll no doubt see you in the morning. Hopefully this rain will have buggered off by then. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just starting to come down. So there you go, lovely. Right, see you in a bit. So it is now 7:15 in the evening. It feels like I've been here all overnight, all night. I've had my tea, had macaroni and cheese for tea at about 5 o'clock. Had a brew, just brewing up for hot chocolate and some dessert, which is custard apple crunch. I'm not particularly mega hungry, but as it's 20 past 7, I'll be going to bed, I don't know, in about an hour or so, just because there's only so much you can do when it's this dark, and the weather's not great, so it's not like I can go for a wander and explore. It's a bit wet and a bit windy, so I'm going to try and sort of generate some heat. So hot chocolate, a bit of warmth inside me, and some say custard apple crunch for dessert, which is again going to warm me up and give me some fuel in my body, just to create that thermogenic energy, so that, you know, your body's working, so it's going to create heat, because, you know, you get in one of these super sleeping bags that, however toasty they are, if you're getting cold, you will struggle to heat up, because the way that those duck down, goose down feathers, etc. work is to trap the warmth that's coming from your body. So if you get in stone cold, you probably won't get any colder, but you'll take a lot longer to warm up, because your body will have to work twice as hard. Whereas if you're getting warm, people say do star jumps, press ups, whatever, before you go to bed, just to the point of before you start sweating, because you don't want to get in sweaty. So just as you start getting warm up, get in your sleeping bag, your body's generating that warmth, and then obviously it'll loft up. I mean, it's lofted up, you probably can't see in this light, but it's lofted up quite a lot already. I've been sort of just chilling and sleeping in it, not sleeping, lying in it. So I thought, well, if I get plenty of warmth, get my body really warm, batten down the hatches and get into my sleeping bag, then maybe either watch something on my phone, or maybe read a bit. So we'll have to see, because you can see I just generated nicely warm in here, so you couldn't see my breath. Now I've opened, I went out for a pee, and now I've opened my first fly net flap, whatever you want to call it. The cold air's getting in again, so don't know if that's coming out on camera, but it's bloody cold again. So I'm going to get this brew on, bring it into my tent, get me dessert on, bring it in, eat it, and then get toasty. So I'll catch you in a bit. If I don't see you before, I won't bid you good night, because I probably will come back one more time before bed, because it's still quite early. So I'll catch you in a bit. Well, it's 9 o'clock. It's blowing a right gale out there, and on and off it's pouring down. Still only about 0 to 1 degree. So I think I'm going to turn in, because I didn't sleep very well last night, and I'm just ready to hunker down and batten down the hatches and snuggle up and get toasted, because this sleeping bag is so comfy when you get it all pulled in and get it round your head and all the baffles around your shoulders. It's proper toasty, I tell you. So I think, unless I can think of anything else witty to say, I shall bid you good night. Sorry there's not been as much photography in this one. I'll say some people prefer just nothing but video. There might not be a lot of video depending on how I edit it, because I've not been up to write a lot tonight. So this one was just about getting out and just after lockdown, getting out and having a bit of freedom. So you know, it wasn't about a long day's hike and views from the tops, although hopefully, well, the weather's supposed to be crap tomorrow, so I probably won't get much views tomorrow. So this may even be the last video you get before the video finishes, but hopefully I'll come back to you tomorrow morning when the weather, fingers crossed, won't be peeing it down and won't be blowing a gale, because I don't want to be packing up in the pouring down rain, because it's just hard work, and then you get wet and all your kit gets wet and it's just a ball ache. So fingers crossed it'll be slightly nicer tomorrow, and yeah, and I'll get a good night's sleep. So I'm going to get my earplugs at the ready, because this wind flapping and the rain peeing down is not conducive to a good night's sleep. So if I don't see you in the middle of the night for some random bizarre reason, I shall see you in the morning. See you later, guys. Well, I've been trying to get to sleep for about an hour now, and I don't know if you can hear this, because I've got earplugs in and I can still hear this, but it's blowing a right bloody gale. Tent's proper flapping. It's not going anywhere, but it's like I've been on top of places like Helvellyn and Whernside, and I've not had it this windy. And I'm only 480 metres high on this hillside, but I don't know if you can see this, but like I say, it's not going anywhere. It's pegged down and it's got me in it, so it's not going to move anyway, but it's just bloody annoying. proper, it drops and then all of a sudden it's like bloody hurricane force, and it's like keeps waking me up. Well, not waking me up, but disturbing me just as I'm dropping off. So hopefully this will bugger off. It seems to have stopped raining for now, but if it keeps up like this all night, even with earplugs in, I'm going to struggle to sleep. So, right, said I wouldn't bring you back unless something happened. Not what's happened as such, but, you know. Flappy McFlapperson. It's like being on top of bloody Ben Nevis. So I'll see you all in a bit. Hopefully in the morning, refreshed. Good morning. Well, I say good morning, it's a bit bloody miserable out there. I didn't sleep a wink last night. Not because it was cold, but just you can still see the tent flapping about. It's been so windy all night, like really windy. When I checked the forecast, initially there were no bad winds, but obviously it's not a mountain, so I haven't been able to check a mountain forecast. But I would say around about 30 to 40 miles an hour winds with bigger gusts. It's been absolutely mental. I think it's probably the worst winds I've ever been out in, which is saying something, because I've been on, you know, I only ever generally camp on the top of mountains, so, you know, to say I'm like 450 metres high, the wind has been atrocious. So yeah, it's bloody cold, as you can see in my breath. I think my GoPro battery just shut down because it's so cold. It's like still about -1 this morning. The GoPro's not, I forgot to keep it warm overnight, and the batteries turn off when they get so cold, or they drain really quickly. So just have a brew. I'm gonna get packed up and get off. I'll probably go back to bed because I'm bloody knackered. So but I said not cold at all. When I was in bed last night, absolutely fine, no issues. Proper toasty. In fact, at one point I was too warm and I'd take a layer off, which is what you want, isn't it? So this is my lovely view this morning. It would be lovely if it was a nice day, but I mean, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. But how much more beautiful would that be if it's been covered by a lovely sunset? Sunrise. So I don't know if you can hear me or not, because it's pretty windy up here and snowing. But I'm all packed up now, and I've left no trace as usual, so let's have a look. That's where I was. You'd think that'd give you some shelter, but the wind must have changed direction through the night because it gave me no shelter. But cracking little spot, just showing the weather on a little bit better. So I was talking yesterday about things I forget when camping, things that you might forget. Now, very muddy. Here's something I didn't really forget, or you could argue I did forget it, but I forgot that with it being so cold, the weather zaps your battery on your GoPro. Because I thought it was just a quick overnighter, I didn't pack a spare battery, I didn't pack a charger. I had a power bank for my phone, and that battery stayed fine. So yeah, when I was filming something this morning, it cut out on me. So if you're wondering why the quality has changed, I don't know how much quality difference there is. It's a new iPhone, so there shouldn't be that much difference in fairness. But that's why, because I'm filming the majority of today on my phone. So that's something to learn for future winter camps. Either spare batteries or charger, or I'll just sleep with my GoPro in my sleeping bag so it stays warm like me. So that's sometimes you try and pack light, backfires on you. Can't win them all.